We are so excited that you're here. So happy to, for the first time in 3 years, be with you in person. And we've also become FASD United, the philosophical perfection of the circle, the togetherness, the sanctity. It was perfect. So we're very proud of the work that we're doing, and more people are recognizing the significance of this issue, and they're investing in this issue.
I'm so glad that you all are here. It's a very special evening for me, my last year as Gala organizer and board chair. I joined the board in the 1990s. Known then as NOFAS, as Tom said, it was already punching above its weight. As Tom said, we rebranded and have a new logo, and we've revitalized the board and its committees, so onward.
For 34 years, my parents and I wondered why I struggled so much in math with abstract concepts, social cues, social gatherings. I did get a diagnosis when I was 34 years old. When I got diagnosed, the very first website I went to trying to find everything I could on fetal alcohol spectrum disorders was FASD United. FASD United was and still is my number one go-to. FASD United is a vessel that spreads education and hope. Education is power, and with power, change is born.
Tonight's Red Shoes Gala is an important step toward bringing this problem out of the shadows. I'm proud to be a co-sponsor of the bipartisan FASD Respect Act. It would strengthen federal, state, tribal, and local programs and funding to address these heartbreaking conditions. Our bill is critical to protecting the health of mothers and their babies.
I want to mostly thank the advocates out there tonight who work every day to support people living with fetal alcohol spectrum disorders and fight for a world where individuals with FASD and their families get the support and targeted interventions they need. For over 30 years, FASD United has provided a voice and advocated for all those touched by FASD, and its leadership today couldn't be more important. This issue has brought people together. For a lot of lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans alike, this is bigger than the partisanship that can somehow divide us. That's why Senator Murkowski and I are working together to advance the FASD Respect Act.
Know that I am so grateful for your efforts, for our collaboration, which goes back a long ways, many years, to help shape legislation to develop a more comprehensive response to the ongoing crisis of prenatal substance exposures. To help prevent future generations from being impacted by FASD, I have worked with advocates back home and across the nation to create legislation that develops a comprehensive approach to prenatal substance exposure. As we know, Congress does not move quickly on almost anything, but that's why we so need and appreciate the persistent advocacy and education efforts from organizations such as FASD United.
We've had over 500 meetings with members of Congress and staff. In those 500 meetings, members of Congress and staff have heard the stories, and there's been a lot of tears. I am heartened by what the senator said, because I do believe that we are really close to the finish line.
We're working on a documentary that our main goal is to reduce stigma and tell the whole story about FASD, which is from many of my friends and colleagues who I work with who have FASD, is not a doom and gloom story. It is a story full of life and talents and joys and interests and just wonderful compassion and joy. And so I want to tell that story with their help.
But we just want to say simply, so we have the logo here. We've just said very simply, Catherine Boyce. For over 25 years of fidelity, leadership, and philanthropy that transformed an organization and inspired a movement. So it's that simple.